First time you'll probably ever seen that on a Golf. Hello and welcome back to the Volks Wizard channel. Now, some of you may know I've been trying to track down a Mark 8.5 Golf since production started at the beginning of April, even going as far as looking in dealerships in France and Belgium, but not having any joy. Well, I'm pleased to report I now have the keys to one, and I'm right here in the UK. It's a right-hand drive car as well. It's the first one to arrive in the country. Now, unfortunately, it's not had a pre-delivery inspection. It cannot be driven today, but I don't think the driving part of the Mark 8.5 is the important bit. It's what happens on the inside. So in today's video, we're going to have a tour of the outside and the inside and concentrate on the infotainment system in particular. But before we get started, let me remind you guys how you can support the channel. The easiest way to do that is simply to subscribe. We get loads of views from non-subscribers, and it's brilliant to get those views. But if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed yet, then please do so. Okay, let's get the model out of the way first then. So this is a Mark 8 Facelift Golf 8.5 match edition with a 1.5 E-TSI petrol engine, so mild hybrid, 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox. Retail price just under £30,000. We've got options on this car. We've got an upgrade from the 17-inch Nottingham wheels to the 18-inch Catanias. We've got the winter pack, which gives you heated seats, and we've also got probably the most exciting option, because it's the first time on a Golf. We have got the area view parking system. There you go. First time you'll probably ever seen that on a Golf. Let's put it back into park. But now let's have a look around the outside. Now, to be perfectly honest, there isn't a lot of difference externally between this and the Golf 8, which is fine by me because I think they look pretty good. The way to notice them in the UK anyway is that they've all got the radar under the number plate. This is probably an option in the European market like it was for Golf 7, but in the UK it's probably going to be tied into insurance premiums, so they should all have that, and that's one way to tell. The bumper is a bit squarer on the corners, that's another way to tell, but other than that, the metalwork all seems to be exactly as it was before, so there's not really much to talk about down here. And at the back, it's pretty much identical. I would reckon they've got rid of the fake exhaust off the 8s, which is no bad thing. But in my eyes, it's a pretty good looking car anyway. Now, let's have a look inside. Okay, well, it's not night and day different in here either. I'll just turn the ignition off. We've got pretty much the same quality plastics here, flat line door bins. All this is pretty similar. This fabric is quite nice and the inlays are pretty good, but generally it's Mark 8. Still got the chrome tips on the switches and a hefty metal door pull, which is a nice touch. In here, well, this is a brand new undriven car, so the carpet's still in really good condition. The mats are okay. They've got the Golf logo on there and contrast stitching, that brightens an otherwise dull footwell up. I think the plastic quality here is the same. Normal rubber pedal covers. And then the seat, well, this fabric is quite nice. It's quite expensive, but we've got traditional seats in this non-sporty car with adjustable headrests, manual lumbar supports. And yeah, it looks pretty similar. Let's get in and have a proper look. Let's start off then with the important bit, the infotainment system. Now, this is the standard for this model, which is 12.9 inches. You can pay extra for a 15-inch screen. I thought this was it because it is so big and it's much more welcoming, much more enticing than the one in Golf 8. Now, on the Golf 8, it's a bit of a procedure to adjust the heated seat temperature. On here, you go straight in like that. It's a big improvement. We've got the home button in the middle, but I can still reach that comfortably in this car. Everything's just easier to use. The shortcuts are up here. Turn and start, stop, on and off. And presumably they're programmable. Let's just see how quickly it works. So we're in the home screen, so that didn't do anything. So we need to go into other things. So let's go to this one. Right, this gives us all the options. Let's quickly have a look at navigation. And let's put in an address. Let's put in that is super
drive
quick.
is the route shown.
and we can mess around with that map to our heart's content. As you can see, that's all really quick. Go back to this screen. What else have we got? Radio. And let's quickly fire up Radio 4. That's cool. And now we have the climate control. So we've still got the shortcut pads down here. I'm surprised this has been carried over, because effectively this screen is better than the ones in the Skoda and the Seat versions of the Golf. And they don't have this pad down here, but they've kept that in, I guess because it is still a Golf 8 underneath. So you can access it via this button if you want, but I don't know, it's just as easy to use this. It's not dark enough to show the illumination on those, but I think if I put the lights on, let's see if we can. Yes, that is illuminated. Okay. Yeah, brilliant. So that is definitely a win. The active info display digital instrument cluster, it's already pretty good. There's nothing to fault with that. As you can see, we've got the buttons back, which is weird because some of the early Golf 8s had these from the start, and I think maybe carried on to have them all the time. That'll be back across the range, and they are nice. They do look more expensive. They are easier to use. So that is very good. Heated steering wheel on this car. Interestingly, we haven't got the piano black down here. We've gone back to the beginning of Mark 8 and gone back to this sort of soft touch plastic, which looks good. The piano black does look good when it's new, but it doesn't look so good after a few years. So yeah, I've got no problem with this. But yeah, interesting. Glove box, unfortunately, because this is still a Mark 8 underneath, nothing's changed there. It's not flock lined. Soft touch dash moulding still there. Headlining, still plastic here and fabric there, but it looks fine. And because this isn't a sporty car, the headliner is very light. Let's just stop the engine, even though it's just stopped itself. Okay, and let's have a quick look in the back. So there's not going to be much of a difference here. Again, they have downgraded the back doors. We've got the inlay on the fronts. They're not on the back doors, which is a shame, but yeah. And in here, well, it's just like a Golf. So the seats are nice and soft, and there is a concave section where you can put your knees. And actually, there's plenty of room. We've only got the one zone climate controls. This all looks a bit 1980s, but it's fine. Still got the slots for your phone there as well, which is a nice touch. That screen, even for a rear seat passenger, makes the interior look so much better. Okay, let's just have a quick look in the boot. So yeah, not really anything different here. Toolkit there, and then space for a spare wheel, but there's nothing there. At least there's room for you to put one in if you want, which isn't the case on every mild hybrid car. And finally, let's have a quick look under the bonnet, which I'm pretty confident I'm going to have to put the camera down to open, because we don't have a telescopic strut. Well, I can't say I'm too surprised, so bear with me. Okay, so 1.5 ETSI mild hybrid petrol engine. Again, not an awful lot of paint under the bonnet. That's just the same as with the Golf 8's soundproofing pad. And yeah, it's just a Golf 8 down here. So yeah, nothing really to report. There's quite a lot happening with Volkswagen at this event today. There's loads of manufacturers here, and kind of not attracting an awful lot of attention is the brand new Golf. I think because it looks so similar. We've also got this Mark 1 Golf from Volkswagen Heritage Fleet here. This actually appeared on my channel back in about 2018. It belonged to Alex, who used to work for Audi UK. They saved it from a scrapyard and restored it pretty thoroughly, and I think Volkswagen have finished the job off, so now it looks like new, and it has a lovely smell inside it. 123,000 miles. Yeah. Also, importantly, we have the designer of the new ID GTI and Volkswagen's chief designer here, Andreas Mint, who is now giving a talk over there, which I shall go to later on. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very early preview of the new Golf in right-hand drive format. As the year progresses, I'll be reporting on the full range, including from the UK launch in July, so stay tuned for that. Also, the GTI Club Sport will be revealed very soon. I hope to be there for that. And at some point in 2024, we'll also see the new Mark 8.5 Golf R. As ever, thank you for watching this Volkswagen video. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.